I sit down with Samuel Andreev, a brilliant composer, educator, YouTube and podcast host, and one of the most insightful voices on the state of music and the arts today. We're diving headfirst into a big question. Has American pop music, jazz, blues, rock, and film scores overshadowed classical concert traditions so much that icons like Leonard Bernstein could never emerge again? I don't expect you to give something like a scholarly citation here, but do you think there could ever be, in an American or European context, another Bernstein type figure in the classical music world that would get that kind of attention?
It's possible, but I think it's very unlikely. I think that if such a figure would look very, very, very different going forward, and that's what you would expect because the world is changing radically. I mean, that's kind of a statement of the obvious, but our societies are transforming at such incredible speed and in such unpredictable ways that it would be a fool's errand to try to predict what things are going to look like next year, let alone in 20 years. The technologies that are starting to blossom now, such as the large language models and ChatGPT and all of these associated technologies, are so powerful and they're advancing so rapidly that all bets are off, I think, and they really do change the landscape. And one of the things that I've observed is that there was a time where you could have these cultural giants. You could have these people that would dominate a field. You could have, a figure like Stravinsky, who was widely considered, perhaps along with Schoenberg, although Schoenberg is he was always a more sort of marginal figure relative to the broader culture than Stravinsky. But you could have these figures who were household names across the culture from top to bottom. Like everybody had at least heard the name.
Right.
You had things like Fantasia coming out, and it's like it's a cross social phenomenon, right? So the cab driver in Boston has heard of Stravinsky, and the Oxford intellectual has heard of Stravinsky. It's like everybody kind of knows who this guy is. And that was also the case in the popular music world. I mean, every single person knew who Michael Jackson was, for example. Like you have these figures that cut across everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm seeing increasingly is that all music is now a minority taste.